Welcome to Lolita's Corner. I am so glad you guys have joined us yet for another week of hot topics, things that are going on in the community. I am glad tonight we will talk about the state of the girl. I am here with my girlfriend, a warrior for the girls and youth and the next generation, Miss Shatina Edwards. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Dr. Cleveland. Thank you for having me today.
Good. She all cute, y'all. Look at her. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about a tough topic, and that's about the generation of girls. But I'm
Yes.
so glad you guys came. Definitely keep up with me on crumenterprises.com. The doctor is making some moves. I've actually been under the radar. So all you really been seeing me do is my podcast. But get ready, because people who have a nonprofit, I'm running a nonprofit boot camp. It is coming. Get ready, and it is not to be played with. So it is definitely coming. So look, we're gonna hop into the show on tonight about the state of the girl. Listen, Shatina, you have this awesome organization called Means Girls Empowerment. Tell us about your program.
So, Mean Girls Empowerment is an acronym for Manage Emotions, Avoid Negativity. That's where we get the name Mean Girls Empowerment from. We are a 501c3 organization serving the greater Chicagoland area, and our organization aims to prevent bullying. We
Mhm.
empower young ladies to avoid negativity, and we strive to empower them to live a positive, healthy lifestyle and achieve their personal best.
That's good. So tell me again, what is the acronym?
It's manage emotions, avoid negativity.
Manage emotions, avoid
Negativity.
negativity.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Ooh, how you come up with that?
You know what? Actually, the word mean had came to me. I had an opportunity to work with a few girls in the school system, and one of my goal to be in that system was to help the girls with healthy living and to talk to them about things that were concerning their health. But I noticed that in my classroom with the young ladies, a lot of these young ladies were like angry, upset, mean, disappointed. There was a lot of girl drama. There was fighting, and just so many things going on. So I knew I had a desire to start an organization, but I wasn't sure what that organization would be called. I was thinking of an organization name, Raise Up a Child. I'm like, no, I need something that's just gonna hit the nail on what
Yes.
these young ladies are experiencing. So the name Mean came to me, and the Holy Spirit just started giving me that acronym, and from there, I was like, you know what? This is very catchy. It's catchy for our young ladies. It's completely opposite of what we know the traditional Mean Girls movie to be. But I
Right.
wanted to do something that would really empower these young ladies to avoid the things that is underneath this umbrella called bullying.
Oh, and and it's so funny that you would be on tonight. Those people who keep up with me know that I do something in the education system. However, I had a situation just today of a girl being bullied, and whether it was because of her mouth or not, the girls were just. I'm like, when did we get to the point that the girls were okay with bullying each other and downgrading each other? And I'm like, do they not know their worth? Do they not know how beautiful they are? Do they not, I'm like, we definitely need a Mean Girls program in these schools, some in local churches that could really make an impact. They could really make an impact. So when you think of the state of girls right now, why do you think mentorship and programming such as yours is so needed?
I, well, I just want to say you mentioned your statement as it relates to bullying, and I'm not surprised because research has shown that girls are more likely to be victims of bullying than boys,
Yeah.
and so that's very important to know. But when you think of mentorship has been around for ages, but people don't always realize how transformative these relationships can be. And I think mentorship is extremely beneficial when helping to develop the girl, the young lady, helping her build her self confidence, guiding her through challenges that she may be able to develop into a more mature young lady. There's so many barriers that mentorship can help with and remove. I think that it's important for these young ladies to see positive role models in front of them. And when you have those positive role models, more than likely you have individuals that are addressing these behavior types. And if we're continuing to talk about it and educating our students on it, then we'll see less of this behavior. So mentorship is extremely important. We see mentorship in so many other areas, such as careers and professional development. But where is mentorship when it comes to the community? And I think that it's so important that we build up more leaders, more mentors to be able to support our younger generation.
And it's so good that you say that, because I just had this conversation with a older lady in the last few days, and I was talking about how generation to generation, the girls should always have girl power. It should always be some sisterhood, some tribalship, some empowerment to uplift them, and being a part of that. And what I have found is, and not everybody. So those people who get offended, there are some great women that have been in leadership roles, and they don't have the first clue about giving back to the kids. To the
Yes,
girls need it. Whether you want to do middle school kids, that's a tough age, baby. That fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, those my hearts, but that's a tough age, right?
yes,
They're trying to
ma'am.
figure out who they are. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to do the latest things. And one of the things that we fail to realize too is that family life plays a big impact on that kid's life. So taking, even if it's an hour a month, you and what you can offer to a kid is just, it's phenomenal what you can actually do, especially if you can address bullying. It is definitely needed. The girls definitely need it. And y'all, I'm a fan of Mean Girls. I'm telling y'all right now, it's Mean Girls, and there's one other girl in Chicago named Keisha. Y'all do great work for the girls.
Thank you.
So listen, you're working on this great project to provide a whip, a ride, a Mean Girls Pimp My Ride. What's going on?
So listen, we have a nice number of young ladies within our program, and our their safety is important to us. And our goal is to utilize this van to make our presence known within the community. So we are working to raise money. Wheels for MGE is the campaign that we have currently going on right now. And that's pretty much to allow our organization visibility within the community, being able to host community activities, being able to distribute goods and services within those communities, and then also provide transportation for young ladies who don't have access to transportation to come to our program sessions, which are held on Saturdays.
And that's good. And that's providing a form of protection, because sometimes these kids are taking public transportation, and to be a part of groups, they have to cross gang territory
That
lanes.
is absolutely true.
And that is a huge issue. I know Chicago has the issue, and it's other cities that have those issues where they have to go from neighborhood to neighborhood, and they're put at risk. So you all having a van is just, I mean, phenomenal. How can someone give to that?
So yeah, and thank you for bringing this to the audience attention. To give, you can simply text 44321 Wheels for MGE, or you can visit our website at meangirlsempowerment.org and provide a donation there.
Definitely. I am so excited about that, because it's definitely needed. The community is needed. The workshops are needed. Listen, how can the older generation, and when I say older, I'm not talking 80s. let me put an age out there a little bit. I'm gonna say 50 to 70,
Okay.
maybe 50 to 70. How can they engage with young girls? Because I found that they have a whole lot to say and no action. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. But a
Yeah.
whole lot to say and no action, right? I'm not gonna bust anybody out on the line, but I always ask this one particular person about teaching etiquette or fashion or how to dress, and I call them the fashion police, right? Because they're like, that don't really work, or that shoe really didn't go, or what made you wear that? And I'm like, they could really take that energy and really put it into kids because they don't know. Some of them don't know etiquette. It's so much that the middle-aged generation could really offer to the new generation. How do you think we could bridge that gap?
Well, I have to agree with you there. I have a lot of younger mentors and younger individuals wanting to get involved with Mean Girls, but not a lot of older individuals. And I would say with that age range, it's important for them to share their experiences with the younger generation. A lot of these things that are happening currently today are the same mistakes that happened 50 years ago. I think that that's so important, and we can draw wisdom from those from the older generation. I think that we should also encourage the older generation to become actively involved in organizations such as Mean Girls, organizations in a community for a cause, because their wisdom and knowledge, we need that. We hear the saying, raise up a not raise up a child, but the wisdom, when you depart wisdom
Mhm.
into someone
That's
else,
right.
it helps
That's
them
it.
with their development. I can't think of it right now, but at the end of the day, we need to hear from them. I would say what I've experienced, and when talking about girl trauma, a lot of the issues that the young ladies have faced back in those days was swept under the rug. I'm going to be honest with you.
Come on, let's talk about it. Yeah,
They were swept under the rug. But this generation today, it's like we got to talk about it. We have to protect our youth mental health. We have to talk about these things. If someone's touching you, you need to come out and say it.
that's
You're going to
it.
go through therapy and things of that nature. So it's kind of like we need to hear from our older generation. We need to know how you guys overcame these situations. We need to hear from you. And I would encourage um, again, I would encourage them to be actively involved in the community, and organizations like Mean Girls, and I'm sure other organizations as well, will
Right.
love for you guys to be involved.
That's it. And it's needed. And I think about, even for me, growing up, I had a crew, right? I had my best friend's mother. She gave the little spiritual nuggets, right? I had my godmother that she had wisdom through cooking. She'll bake a cake and give you some wisdom that'll blow your mind. You be like, what? And now in my 40s,
Mhm.
I can remember those stories. It's like they're regurgitating up in me, like, you know what? This is how you should handle it. Everything from talking about how to pray, how to handle men, how to carry yourself like a lady,
Yes.
how to wear a good girdle. Come on now. There's some things that the new generation need. And let me say this, some of them older, seasoned people need to get a little hip.
Yeah. I like
Wear a
that.
pair of ripped jeans, you ain't gonna die. If you got arthritis in the knee, put a legging and some tights on under it, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I think about when I first started working with youth and young adults, really fresh out of college. I was 21, 22. I've been in it now almost 30 years. I didn't realize it until my brother said something to me yesterday that I had been doing it that long.
Wow.
And I think about when I first did it, I was teaching kids how to ride a dirt bike.
Wow.
Like, how did I get here for behavior modification? And now I think about kids and I'm like, I don't have a clue what some of them are doing or talking about, but I know the fashion gets their attention. So guess
Yes.
what? I didn't have a lot of gym shoes, so I had to step up my high top fades and a good pair of Jordans or something to get me in the door a little bit, to break that ice. What you know about that? You got a little drip? I'm like, drip? What is drip?
Yes.
But I learned real quick what drip was. I'm talking about in my day, it might have been a little swag, you got a little juice. But learning those terms to get engaged with those kids and youth is so essential. And one of the things that I find, and you can help me with this, is sometime the older generation will digress and say they don't want to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to tell them they don't call me, so I'm not gonna call them.
That's so
They're
true.
grown enough to make that decision. They are, but you don't know what they're going. You know, come on. When you gonna say, "Let me just check in," whether they respond or not, they'll know that you always care, even in the midst of what they may be going through.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And I would just say that, we do have those individuals like they let them just grow up and be them and make their own decisions. But honestly, just the conversation, it doesn't even have to be forceful. But, that was the light bulb for me. Like a lot of my mentors when I was younger were older than me. They were almost 20 years older than me,
Hmm.
but there were things that they said, there were things that they imparted in me that I will never forget to this day. And so I think that just making those significant impacts that can be just a brief conversation, or even not even, having a platform like this to talk about issues, our younger generation needs to hear it. So I would say, listen, it's so much to do out here to empower our younger generation, our younger women. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. It's not enough mentoring groups. It's not enough conversations that we can have. I mean, we have to continue this.
We do, and we definitely have to talk about the impact of trauma because people think that trauma is just getting yourself hit over the head. But trauma is sexual abuse, physical abuse, watching somebody get killed, losing a parent. Grief is a form of trauma.
Yes.
Well, a lot of times people don't know it. And today, oh Lord, I had to substitute some kids. One, I realized about three things. One, my days of direct involvement with the kids is over. I could come in and help them out, but my days of that is over. But two, there was one girl having a conversation, and her and I just talked, and I hadn't seen a few of them probably in months. It's been months, and she said something today that messed me up, and she said, "Well, Dr. Cleveland, that's not really my mom. That's my adopted mom. I'm adopted." I was not ready.
Mm.
So I was like, oh my goodness, what do I say to that? Whoa. So I said, I used to work for, the foster care system. And she was like, what? So that started a whole conversation, but
Open the door up.
opened the door. It just needed to be an open door. But I was really taken aback because I see her so much and never knew
Wow.
that she was adopted. So you just never, and she was comfortable in it. She was
Wow.
okay with it. She was like, she cool, she love me, but she about 70 years old. Oh Lord. I said, well, how's her swag? We got to work on her drip, Miss Lolita. So,
Yes.
it started that conversation to have, but I would have never known that if I didn't sit down and have a conversation and sort of say, hey, what's been up? I haven't seen you guys in a few months. What's been going on? What's been happening? I wasn't expecting that, but conversation, and it's building a relationship.
That is so true. That is so true. I'll tell you, like, once you sit down and start talking to these girls, they will begin to open up and expose so many things to you. I think what's important for us as mentors, because I consider myself to be a mentor, is
You
having a listening ear. That's important. Having a listening ear. We have to listen because we be so quick to say, hey, don't do this, don't do that, but you got to listen first. And,
know,
and 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 listening through that conversation, you will hear the girl needs.
that's it.
I wanted to just say, like, there was a young lady in Mean Girls, and she at the time was about 8 or 9. And social media is something that parents typically allow their children to be on. I got an 11-year-old, and he's not on any social media platform. I just don't think he's ready for that.
That's
But
it.
In her case, she's on social media, and she posted a picture of herself, and basically, someone responded like, "Go kill yourself." So this young lady struggled with the fact of, thinking that she wasn't beautiful and she needed to harm herself. And so, mom reached out later and said that, the young lady tried to commit suicide. And it was just crazy because there were so many conversations that kind of led up to that. And I just think that, even with me talking to her, and, her hair is extremely long. And she like, well, the girls always ask me, do I have weave in my hair? I mean, they will expose so many things to you.
Much.
And I think what's important is having that listening ear. The good thing about it is the girl did not commit suicide. We were able to get her the help and resources that she needed, and
Right.
to help her build that self confidence. I believe she's now 12 now, but I'll just say, just like that young lady, she wanted you to know that she's
Yeah.
adopted. She
Yeah.
wanted you to know
She
that,
wanted me
and
to
they
know.
will share these things with you. They
Yeah.
will share it.
Yeah. And you said something really good, a listening ear. Being able to risk, I always say, don't listen to react.
Yes, that's good. It's really good.
You cannot listen to react. You need to really listen. And in listening, you'll really hear their heart and where they're coming from and where they're hurt at, because a lot of them are hurt. And I want to say this, and I want to challenge mothers and fathers that have daughters, right? You have to have an open door to talk. Even if you don't know what to say, a parent just don't get a handbook.
That's
You don't get a handbook. It's about a relationship and conversation. And it's okay to tell your baby, I don't know, let me find out. It's
mhm,
okay for you to say, well, what's that? It's okay to learn how to do some of the dances that they do, so you can relate. Because if not, guess what they're going to do? Go outside your house and then you're going to wonder why they're doing it.
right. Absolutely. I think too. You mentioned something that was so good. Like, we must show our child, parents, fathers, um, unconditional love. We must show the kids unconditional love. Oftentimes, I hear stories, and I hear that, parents don't really make time for their kids anymore. They don't make time. Um, Communication is a priority. I think that, oftentimes we're so busy, and I'm a mom myself, that I get so busy and inundated, but I have to um, put my computer away, and give my sons the time that they need to hear and listen and talk to them. I think too, what's important for our youth, for our parents, is to problem solve with their kids.
Yes,
A lot of times, children don't know how to do it, so they look for mom and dad. And you have to kind of teach them how to problem solve. You have to be a good role model, because you guys, I mean, parents are the first examples that the kids will see. But, they start seeing it when they're a baby. They're learning and picking up things that their mom
exactly.
and dads do. And so if you're saying don't do this, but you're doing that, you're not being a good role model. So you got to be a good role model. And that means be careful what you do in front of your kids.
That's true.
Um, and,
That's
and,
true.
and when it comes to bullying, and this is where my heart is at, parents need to learn how to practice and role play with their child, so that way they can feel comfortable with responding to someone that's teasing them, or someone that is bullying them. I think that that needs to be practiced, so the child can be comfortable in those situations if they're faced with bullying.
That's true. That's true. And they need to talk about what bullying looks like. It's a lot of programs, it's a
Yes.
lot of information. Advocate for your kid at school. And you said something very valuable that I actually love. And when you said you have to make time to spend with your child, I currently do not have any natural children. But do you know how many godchildren, spiritual babies, somebody else's babies, and one of the things is time, right?
Yeah.
My god baby said to me, I've not seen you in a month.
Oh.
Broke my
Oh.
heart. Now I'm gonna fix that Saturday, baby. I'm showing up. We going to lunch.
You gotta show up.
What's
Show
been
up.
going on? What's been happening at school? Don't
Yes.
play with me. Who the little kids and the little girls you like, and all of that. We need to talk about that, right?
Yes.
So I can definitely tell that my presence is missed because you knew the amount of days that you had not seen me, right?
Mhm.
So we need to go talk. As they say, we need to chop it up, see what's going on, go have a cup of hot chocolate or something. But it's the small things like that that kids need. Not, not just not just girls. Our focus is girls tonight because the girls definitely need it. Listen, if you are a father and you hear this, please hug your daughter. Please. Do not let her first hug be from a crappy bum. Yeah, I said it on the show. you know, hug your
That's true.
kids, give
That's
them
true.
high fives, do a special handshake. All of that impacts them to make them be great. It
That is
really does.
absolutely true.
It does. And affirmations. What do you think about affirmations?
They're needed. I mean, I have a mirror that I go to every day to kind of look at or put makeup on, and I'm just saying things to myself. And I think it's so important that we reinsure ourselves. I think it's so important that we deposit positive things within ourselves. So I am a pro advocate for affirmations, and we do that in our Saturday sessions with our girls as well. So they're needed.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to come to a Saturday session. What
Yeah.
are a couple of affirmations that you like?
Okay, so let me just start with my favorite one.
Come
I
on,
am
let's talk about it before we wrap up.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I will succeed. I will be great. I will continue to love myself. Those are just some that I always say because I do think I'm a beautiful person. But if somebody tell me something look wrong with me, then it may make me feel some type of way. So I got
Right.
to keep telling myself certain things that I also say I will succeed. There's a lot of times that I don't feel like I'm doing good at or things that I feel like I need to improve. So I'll say those particular things to say, you know what, you're gonna make it, you're gonna do it, you're going to be this millionaire, you're going to come
Come
off
on.
your job one day, you're going to reach
Yes.
and
Come
impact
on.
X amount of girls. So those are some things that I continue to say to
Yes.
myself. And I know God to be someone that's listening and
Come
it's
on
gonna make
now.
those things happen. So
Yes, because I am wealthy and I attract all the open doors and opportunities that I need to get. Okay, that's one of my favorites.
yes, ma'am.
Definitely. I thank you so much for coming on tonight, being on the show. I definitely respect and love the great work that you do for the girls in your local community. I can't wait to see what you guys will do nationally and globally. I know that I am definitely going to be reaching out because I am doing my annual girls conference. I don't know how I have gotten in that. I've tried to get out of it this year, and I am told that I have to turn up the heat.
Yes.
So I have definitely turned up the heat because the place this year is gonna be hot.
Come on. I'm excited. What came last year, it was amazing. It was
Yes,
amazing. The work
yes,
you put into that, it was amazing. So I know it's gonna be the bomb.
yeah. We definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna definitely reach out, let y'all know what we up to, and definitely what we doing. And it's always a pleasure to serve alongside of you guys. Is it anything you like to say to the people before we leave on tonight?
Oh yeah, and well, first I want to start by saying thank you for this opportunity, being able to be on your platform. I've been watching you, and the topics that you bring to the community, to our audience, is extremely amazing. And so I appreciate this opportunity to stand on your platform today. I just wanted to just encourage individuals that if you do have a young lady or know a young lady that would benefit from Mean Girls Empowerment. And as I mentioned, we are a bullying prevention program. Please check out our website. We have a number of seats that will be available during the next season. We're going to be closing out in May, but enrollment for the fall will be opening up in June. And then I'm excited to say that we have a camp, a 1 week camp, and we're partnering with Chicago Sky. So this camp will all be all about sportsmanship, and then you'll have an opportunity to attend a Chicago Sky game. So be on the lookout for our camp. And I'm excited about what we're doing. We're going to be doing some awesome things in the community this year. We're still in the first quarter, so you will see more MGE. So be on the lookout. Sign up for our mailing list. Stay connected, and any questions that you all may have personally about the organization itself, you can always feel free to contact us at contact@meangirlsempowerment.org, and that's our email. I'm going to state it again. It's contact@meangirlsempowerment.org.
Thank you all so much. I'm glad that you all have joined us. Listen, stay focused and help the next generation of girls to be great women and leaders such as yourselves. Thank you. I'll see you next time for Lolita's Corner. Have a good evening. Thank you again, Mrs. Edwards, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Thank you.